welcome. So at the time of posting this, it will be an acceptable time to be posting Christmas content. And for, I'm sure plenty of people out there, it is already a fine time to be working on Christmas stuff. For me, as I sit here drinking hot cocoa, it is the, let's see, we're about just a little less than a week out from Thanksgiving, which I can't believe it's already that far into the year for one. But for another, it would be, for me, growing up, Thanksgiving weekend was really the start of Christmas decorating. But as an adult who is very much in the realm of retail, if I wait that long, it's not happening. Christmas decorating is not on the list anymore. So I have already begun the decorating process. I have a partially put up tree, which, let me just spin you around so you can see it. Yeah, you can see. We've got to start. But I realized that it is just a little lacking in some spooky. This is really the first year that I've thought about doing spooky. I kind of changed it to more darker tones. Last year I really had a good black, white, copper vibe going and I loved it. But I kind of missed the red, so I'm bringing that back this year. And then I also want to do, as you may have guessed from the title of this video, some little creepy Christmas ornaments. I'm also going to be making some geeky ones because that's very much the culture of this household is geeks, and you know, maybe the creepy vibe is more mine at this point, but Josh is a real good sport about whatever aesthetics I'm into at any given moment. So I want to make some decorations that are just a little touch of spooky. So I have a plans for several. I'm gonna need to go and pick up a few things to be able to really get everything done, but I have a few things and I wanted to just kind of go over my thoughts. The first is, of course, I mean, what else could it be? A skull ornament. I'm gonna make salt dough, and I don't know, maybe I'll make a couple of skulls. I also, I'm kind of gonna simultaneously be making the geek ornaments. I don't plan on recording those, but you know, maybe I'll show them little bits and pieces as I'm working through. Just because it's easier when you're working with certain materials, just do it all at once. Especially salt dough, like, if I'm gonna make it, I'm just gonna make it one time, roll it out, and do everything at once. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. I also have, and I need to get probably a couple more, these little wooden cutout ornaments. I want to paint some of them. I want to do, I think I want to do a little Christmas ghosty and a raven. I might do some others, but those two are on the list for the little wooden cutouts for sure. Speaking of raven, I had initially thought I would do a raven, but they're really my vibe, so we're gonna do a raven. I also want to do a little, I'm gonna see if maybe I can get just a smidge bigger vial. What are you doing, camera? There we go. Just a little bit bigger vial than this. If I can't though, I think this will be sufficient. It's just a little vial. What are you focusing on? There we go. It is from some colored contacts I had gotten for cosplay a while back, and then I just have a little teeny black feather. And so I think I'm gonna try that Moth and Glow technique where you put the cleaner into the vessel and then you put glitter, and I'll do like a black glitter inside of this with the little quill. I think I'll also have a white feather. If that's just too much black, it needs to be broken up, but is there really such thing as too much black? You know, I don't think so. Next up, I have this little tiny tube. I haven't decided if I want to do a little squattier and maybe swap to a toilet paper tube, but we're gonna do those like drippy candles where you use hot glue to give it that like melted wax vibe. I'm not gonna do a light in it because it's going on a lit up tree, so I'm gonna have to find a way to plug up the top and make some sort of flame at the top of it. And then I don't have any materials for this. I also want to do, if I can find the little tiny hoops, I want to do like a beaded embroidery black bat ornament. I think that'll be really cute. And I think that pretty much covers everything I have planned. Now, if I get inspired while I'm out shopping for goodies, then, you know, maybe we'll add some to the list. But I think this is a fair number for this video, at least. I love making ornaments, make them every year. Last year, I was fixated on making these beaded icicles, which I can show you a clip of, but I might make some more of those because I think I want to try and make some red ones. But those I don't think will, well, you know, it's kind of like a blood drip theme. Maybe we'll squeeze that in there. We'll see. I don't really have, like, I have a basic plan, but like I said, I'm still like being influenced, and I gotta see all the things before I make all the final decisions. But with the materials that I've shown you, those ones are happening for sure. So before we get started on making, I have to pick up a few things. So we're gonna do that first. All right, so Mr. Psychopump is driving me around. We're not gonna do all the shopping today. I'm gonna do it in bits and pieces. I hit up Dollar Tree first because that's my usual go-to, and I didn't find any ornament making supplies that I wanted, but I got a good bunch of gift wrapping stuff, and they had these cute little metal trees, like actually metal, and it was only $3, and this is gonna fit in perfect with my decor, so I grabbed it. Actually, I somehow managed to get away with only spending $10 because it's really easy for me to just spend money there because they do get a lot of cute things. Especially since they also have some like the more upscale Dollar Tree items. But I think with a lot of the stuff I'm just gonna need to go to the actual craft store for. So we'll come back around to that. But yeah, we're just gonna continue doing errands and I'll see if I find anything that I like. All right, we successfully got what we needed at Michael's, but before we talk about that, I'm gonna eat some burger, drink some, what was it, banana pudding? Banana pudding milkshake. Banana pudding milkshake, because we hungry. We've been doing errands all morning, so we haven't had breakfast or anything. So, first noms, then we can discuss treasures. The traffic has been so bad in front of my house. Like, last night I was trying to record and usually, like, yeah, we get some traffic that's loud, but of course on the one night that I'm trying to record ASMR in a while, it's like the loudest it's been in I don't know how long. Anyways, let's look at what we got at the craft store. Alright, so I got more of the little just plain round wooden cutouts that I already had. That way I just have multiple depending on if I want to change my mind on anything or do some extra stuff. So I got a couple more of those. I got, so for like a couple of the painted ornaments, they had these black chalkboard ones. So I got 2 of those. So I'm excited to use those because I think they're gonna paint well, and particularly the little ghosty one I want to do, I think it's gonna look super cute on that. Now I couldn't find embroidery hoops that were like little. The one that got closest was like in a pack of 3 with like 2 really big ones. I don't need all that. So instead what I think will work well, they have these little ornaments that have a window and the back comes off. So I think what I'll do is I'll just sew the embroidery on a piece of cloth, and what I can do is still even using my big hook. Well, that was a really big hoop, But I can just sew it on. I probably don't even need a hoop. And then I can glue the embroidery onto this round and then just put it in here, and then it'll be in the glass. And I don't know, maybe I'll do like some fake snow or something. I'll make that decision later. But yeah, I think that'll suit the purpose, maybe even better because it's like Christmassy now. I don't have to worry about raw edges or anything. So I got 2 of those. And then, oh, they had a bunch of Halloween stuff that was still on clearance, and I behaved myself, but I did see these cute little coffin earrings. So since they only ended up being like, I don't know, they had Black Friday deals going. I could have gotten so much more, but I was trying to, you know, keep it reeled in, especially since I gotta like buy gifty stuff, you know. Like, I can't just like blow it all on art supplies as much as I would love to. So a bunch of this stuff was super cheap, but the little earrings, let's see, these were like $1.50 for these, which is probably about as much as I want to pay really for these, if I'm being honest, but they were just cute little coffee shapes. Anyways, and then I got black glitter, which I think I still have some black glitter, but it's gonna get used in my house. And then for at least my geeky ornaments, I need red beads, so I just went ahead and got a thing of these. I have lots of little black beads, so I'm good there. So I think, aside from the Mop and Glow, which I'll pick up at like Walmart or something if I can find it, I think I have everything that I need to get started. So today is video game day, so I won't be starting quite today. But yeah, that will be my free time, downtime in between the craziness of Black Friday week. That is what we're gonna be doing. So yeah, so now that we have all of our supplies, we can do this at our leisure. All right, let's make some ornaments. I'm very excited. It's been a couple days since I picked up my stuff. It's just been crazy busy because it is that time of year in retail realm that it's just busy. But after having a hell of a day, which I don't want to get too much into just because I will go off on a rant again. And I want this to be a fun and relaxing video. But the topic was doctor's offices telling you that they need to reschedule your appointment days before your appointment and then telling you they don't have an opening for months. I got it sorted out. But anyways, to take out some of that frustration, we are going to start with salt dough because it's very cathartic to knead dough. This is a really simple, cheap, affordable, you can make it in bulk type recipe. I thought about using my air dry clay, but I really just wanted to do something that was really accessible for anyone who wanted to like make ornaments out of like clay dough. And I don't know how sturdy the air dry clay is as far as like a disc type shape. I already know from when I was sculpting the mushrooms that anything that's thin crackles easily. I'm not making these ornaments super thin, but I already have plenty of experience with salt dough ornaments, and they are sturdy. They last pretty well as long as you don't like bake them to the point of being crumbly and burnt. So I'm gonna just turn on my secondary view. Ignore. You can ignore my scruffy leggings. But to do this, you just need a cup of flour, half cup salt, half cup water, and that should do it pretty well. Obviously, just like with any other dough, you may need to add more or less liquid, more or less flour, just kind of based on conditions. But I'm going to start with this. I'm going to add the flour and the salt first. Let me see if it gets better. I need to get a new holder for my phone while I'm recording with it, the arm's starting to get a little droopy. But I'm gonna just mix the salt and the flour together first, so that's well distributed. All right, and then just gonna drizzle the water in. I know there's ways to like add paint and stuff to make it colored. I'm gonna be painting, actually I think I'm gonna be mostly glittering it, so just a base coat of paint and then glitter on it. I have a stormtrooper ornament that I made and did that way. I did it, I must have made that years ago now, and it has held up so well. It's one of my favorites on the tree. It's like I can just see it peeking around a branch from me right now. And you want to knead this pretty well so that's nice and smooth, and it'll help the more you knead it. You don't want to over knead it obviously, but you want to knead it plenty so that you get a nice smooth dough, because it will affect how nice it is in the end. And I just realized I didn't bring over any extra flour. Okay, I have some extra flour. I also realized that I am going to have to clean so much dough out from underneath these fake nails. That's okay. When I was in high school, I took like a semester of like sculpture. Well, not semester, a full year. A full year of sculpture. And whenever we worked with clay, I had to make sure I kept my nails really short because, one, I didn't like cleaning clay out from under my nails over and over. And two, I didn't like having little indents in my dough all the time, like especially doing pinch pots. It's really hard if you have long nails to not have little gouges all on the inside of your pot, so. All right, now that we have our lovely lump of dough, it's nice and supple feeling, it is time to roll it out. I'm just kind of eyeballing how thick it is. That looks pretty good. Alright, so I have my skull cutter, and as I mentioned, I'm also doing some geeky ornaments, so I also have a little Darth Vader. This is actually a pancake mold, so I just want to preset them in place so I know. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of room here. Maybe I can get some other shape in here. There we go. Probably just re-roll the scraps and just do like some rounds or candy canes or something. I'm not sure what all I have in my drawer. Alright, now since my skulls do not have eyeballs, and I'm not gonna do the Day of the Dead style on the opposite side, I'm just gonna freehand some eyeballs and a nose. I might actually, do I want to cut off the bottom and just have it be like the top? Maybe? I haven't decided. We'll come back around to that. I'm not really going for like full-on teeth here, just kind of like the impression. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna do that second time with this skull, see if I can maybe make just a little bit of improvement. We'll see, but I will come back once I have laser sharp focused cut his eyes and nose out. Alright, so there is our batch of salt dough ornaments. Obviously you'll get like more if you use littler cuts. The Darth Vader in particular is pretty large. So I'm gonna pop these into the oven. You can definitely air dry these. That takes a few days. My goal is to have these pretty much dried out, baked by the end of the night so that I can paint them tomorrow, because I want to finish decorating my tree hopefully before I go to work for the night on Wednesday, because I actually have to work a night shift this week. No big, I'm actually more of a night owl. I just like to get my work done early in the day so I have the rest of the day to enjoy. But anyways, I'm gonna get these into the oven for a couple hours at, I think I said 200 degrees, and we will go find another ornament to relax and work on. All right, we are going full cozy mode because I don't feel like sitting at my art desk. I just want to be curled up on the couch. So I've got some paint, I've got a little cup of water, I just brought my whole tub of brushes over so I could pick and choose what I wanted. And I've got my camera set up so that you can actually see as I paint. But yeah, it's just been super busy. We are doing the little ghosty with a Christmas hat on this one, by the way. Is he mostly centered? Yeah, that's good enough. You can make that work, right? Alright, that's a nice little shape. Oh, he's cute. He's already so cute. I've barely done anything. I don't know. Do I even need to? I don't think I even need to do too much shading. I think I'm just gonna let the black of the ornament kind of shine through a little bit. Maybe I'll just kind of like blend this out down here to get some like that transparency effect. I'll just use the black to make his little ghosty face. Well, that was simpler than I thought it was gonna be, that I was gonna have to do all this shading and stuff. Alright, I have this teeny tiny little, I don't know if it's gonna, I have this little teeny tiny brush that I like chopped up because I needed one for like itsy bitsy dotting. I'm gonna just give him a cute little, do I want to do a mouth, a little ghost mouth? I think I just want to do the ghosty eyes. Oh, like he's cute in person, but like I think he's like extra cute on camera. I think it's just like the lighting. Look at him. Look at him. He's cute. All right, now I'm gonna make him a little ghosty hat. I think I'm gonna do just like a little red Santa hat on him. Let me just get some red paint. Yeah, I don't really know too much what I want to talk about. I had a good Halloween. That day I wore that dress was so humid, but then 2 days later we got a nice cold front and it was delightful. And like legit on actual Halloween, I didn't do like anything. We sat home and we watched scary movies and just snuggled up, and it was delightful. So pretty much we did all of like the party Halloween stuff over the weekend beforehand, and then we just relaxed and enjoyed being snuggled up on Halloween, because I took a long weekend because I wanted to just rest up before like the holidays really began. What do we think? I think we need to get the little pom-pom on. We also might actually need to add the little fluffy do at the bottom to really sell the hat, I think. So yeah, I don't like to rush time, but I'm almost kind of looking forward to the new year and hopefully having some peace and quiet to just relax. So yeah, I think it's gonna kind of be more of an every other week for video posting, just so I don't over exhaust myself, which still gives me, I think, 3 videos for December. It'll be this one. I think I want to do a reading one of like Twas the Night Before Christmas, maybe, kind of up in the air still, and then like a post-Christmas, like I'm gonna make this gray, I think, just to kind of sell the color against the ghosty. And then like a kind of like a New Year's type video I think will be fun. Something glitzy and sparkly. What that is, well, I don't know. Not there yet. I'm just not there yet. And I smudged a little on his face, but that's okay. When you're working with paint, you can just simply paint over. And yes, I'm drying my brush right on my leggings. If you're an artist, you know all about that. It's just like, do I really feel like getting up and getting a paper towel? Not when you're cozy like this. All right, so do just a little sort of shading stuff on the top of the hat. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking this. I think I'm actually going to use the other brush for the eyeballs. I think I want that point on the tip. Do I want to do a little, just like a teeny tiny bit of shading on him? Do I? Yay, nay. No, I think I'm just gonna keep it simple. Let's do just like some little dots like it's snowing or something. Just loop them around. Oh, that's adorable. Okay. I think I'm gonna call that for tonight, just because I'm kind of hungry and craving a late night snack, and I think I want to put on a movie and just do some nom-nomming. But yeah, so the next time I come film, so the next ornament I think we're gonna work on, because we have another one to paint, but I kind of want to break it up. I think we will do, maybe we'll do the candle one next, which I have slightly altered the idea from what I thought I was going to do at first. So I'm excited to show you what I've come up with and to get that put together. So yeah, that's next on the list. All right, we are on a new day. I am in a much better mindset. I had hot glue stringing from Ew and I haven't even started using it yet. That is the way be with hot glue. Anyways, I had to get a doctor's appointment. I've had some stress taken off my shoulders. I don't feel frustrated anymore. So I should be my normal, cheerful self for the remainder of the video, hopefully. Yeah, I just felt a little off last night. Anyway, as I said, we are going to move on to that candle ornament. Now, originally I was looking at working with this and just doing like a single like dripping candle. Perfectly fine. But you know, I kind of want to go a little extra. So I have more skinny tubes, some of which were already cut up into pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 different heights and make like a little candle cluster instead. I just think it'll have a little more interest than just the single lone candle. And then I keep so many random things like jars and lids. A lot of like plastic lids from containers end up being pallets, and I am a little bit of a hoarder. Okay, I'm like a full-on dragon when it comes to potential art supplies. I just can't help it. I mean, I have stuff tucked everywhere in this tiny little apartment. I'm sure if I were to dig underneath my couch, I know that there's a puzzle that we're working on under there for sure, and there's probably like cardboard or something too. Anyways, I'm gonna use this for a little platform, and then when I drizzle the glue to make it look like it's dripping, I'm not just gonna have it go along the top, but I'll have it kind of like puddling down around it on the bottom. So I think that's gonna work pretty well. So the first thing to do for this is going to be plugging up the little hole in the top. And I'm just going to use my hot glue to do that. I am using, though, my like cheapy, inexpensive hot glue because I also have a bigger glue gun that has like Gorilla Glue, like really good glue sticks in it. I'm like, I'm not going to use that for plugging up a hole. To attach it to the metal base, probably, but for this bit, yeah, I think I'm just going to use my cheapy glue. Now what I'm trying to do is, you know how like a lot of fake candles, one side is like a little dipped? I'm trying to figure out if it's possible for me to kind of emulate that, whether it's with the hot glue itself or do I need to cut in a little bit. I think I'm just going to try to create that effect with the actual hot glue. And I'm going to use the ugly side down on the base so that it's hidden regardless of how the glue turns out. So let's go ahead and get started on some fabrication then. All right, so I said I was going to use the clean side. So I just think I'm going to go around the interior little by little, allowing it to cool and just kind of building it up on the inside first to kind of plug it up a bit. So I'm gonna let that cool, but you can see we've already started filling in that gap, which we're gonna have to do on all three. So I'll probably just record this first one so you don't have to watch the tedium of doing it 3 times, because I'm sure it is going to be a tedious process building up this glue. I'm gonna try and let it set a little bit before I go all the way around, I think. Look at that. Yeah. Pretty much all filled in. So we've got it at least. We don't have it aesthetic yet, but we have it functionally filled in. Time for another stick. Okay. Yeah, you can see by setting it down while it was warm, it kind of caved in a little bit, but I'm just going to keep gluing on top and then I'll flip it. Alright, so that is one candle effectively plugged up. So I'm gonna put a pin in recording here and get the other 2 done, and then we'll come back. Okay, our candles are all plugged up. I have figured out a pretty spiffy little focused wick situation. I just took some toothpicks and broke them in half and then stabbed them on in. But before I did that, I just kind of wanted to show you. So we have our little stumpy candle left. You can see it's all lumpy. It is filled in, mostly, but it is lumpy. I see, it kind of dripped down while it was upright. That's okay, it'll set up and we can fill in more. But what I did was I just took the nozzle, since it's hot, and I just took it and went around to kind of smooth it out some so that it's nice surface to work on and not all bumpy. So we just gotta kind of be patient. Let the heat do its job. Just do kind of like an all over layer so that anywhere where there was like bubbles and it's now collapsed a little bit, we'll just fill in so it's nice and smooth on the top. There we go, that's better. And then while it is still warm, I'm just going to take that little focus on here. There we go. So I've just got my little piece of toothpick. I'm just gonna carefully shove that in the middle until it's about a height that I like. I'll just go further in. And then just kind of reinforce that middle spot, just a touch more glue. All right, now that we have our little baby Wiccan and all the wax has set up, we are going to start building up this edge so that it has like that little caved in look like a lot of like the fake candles that you can buy have, and that should make it look like it's melted down over time instead of just being like a fresh candle. So let's see what I can get out of this glue stick, and let's start recording this. Let's manipulate this just a wee little bit. That's what you have to be careful of, is that you don't pull the hot glue and then get those like the stretched looking spots. And actually, accidentally, I've managed to do it perfectly because the wick leans forward just a little bit towards where it would pull out. So that's where the heat of the candle would be. Not that you have to have that level of realism in an ornament, but it's just one of those happy little accidental things. Alright, let's start to add some drips. And hopefully not get it on my thumb. Oh Lord. Oh no. Okay. Well, that ended up a little thicker than I wanted at the bottom, but that's okay. Maybe this candle's been lit a few times. Actually, this candle's been lit a lot because it's shorter than the others, so. Those stringies of wax have started building up on this one more, maybe. Alright, that is not too bad. So I'm gonna do that again. And then what we'll do is we'll glue them together and get them on that platform before we paint them. Alright, so I'll be back once that is done. Alright, so I went ahead and I glued them all together, got them onto the platform, and then kind of finished getting like all those, let me do it on this one. Getting all those little glue drips so they're like going over the platform. I'm gonna have to be pretty fastidious with the paint job, but that's okay. I really like the effect that it has now, and I really focused on building up like this little one since obviously he's been burning longer than the other two. You don't have to think about that kind of realism. I didn't have to think about that kind of realism. I was just having fun playing with my hot glue gun and making drippy candles. So now that we have our candles we're gonna set them aside. I really want to make sure the glue is all the way set up and not, well, it feels pretty good. What I'm more concerned about is the glue inside since I really piled it up to make sure it stays on this little platform nicely. I want to make sure that sets up so I don't accidentally like knock it over and jar it loose or anything. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to pull out the salt dough ornaments that we baked and we're going to work on painting those. Okay, so I've got, I got the Vader too, but I got our little skull. I just picked the one that looks a little bit better to start with. It's got a little boogies, but once you get the glitter on, it's not going to be super noticeable. There is just a teeny bit. Let me get it under here somewhere. You can see there's just like a little bit of cracking in a couple spots. Unfortunately, it's just something that sometimes happens with salt dough if you're not like super careful with like, especially transferring it. If you get that little bend in it, it kind of is essentially baking where that dough cracked in the bend while you're transferring. For me, it does not matter because he's getting covered with paint and glitter. If you needed to, like, if you're painting them, then just like put a little like even maybe like wall patching probably you could do, seal it and then paint it. If you're looking for that raw natural look, just be prepared that your salt dough may have little crackies in it. I think I'm just going to start with a good white coating. I'm probably only going to do one coat because like I said, it's getting covered with glitter and glitter hides a lot of sin. Will work quite nicely. Just base coat, that way the glitter pops a little more, I feel. Alright, so we're gonna let that dry. I'm going to decide what ornament we're gonna work on next. It's probably gonna be our other painted ornament because the last ornament I have in mind is some beaded embroidery type stuff, and I'm not sure. Oh, and I also have the little inkwell. That's right. But the embroidery one is going to be a little time consuming, and I do need to pick out what fabric I'm going to use as the background. So I'll probably leave that one for last. It's going to probably have a lot of time lapse in it. It's small, so hopefully it shouldn't take me too long, but it is just a tedious process. I'm currently working on a much bigger piece, and it's one I have to kind of do in small bursts just because it's significant size and it's taking time to fill in all the space, but that's okay. I am enjoying it. It's just one of those things that, like I said, is kind of in short bursts. So I am going to let that dry and look up some reference images. I'm not sure if I want to do like a little like cutesy cartoony raven, crow, whatever, or a little more like spooky cartoon, like cute. I think we're gonna probably lean on cute because our ghosty is so cute. So I'm just gonna kind of look up reference images and decide how I want to go with that, and then we will begin the actual process. Alright, so it's a little while later because I realized that my camera battery was just about dead. Which was fine actually, because an old friend of mine reached out and we hadn't talked in a long time, so we texted back and forth for quite a while, which was great. So yeah, that's just a really nice thing to happen. So I'm hoping we stay in touch. But we are going to go to the next ornament. Like I said, I'm going to do my little wooden cutout. I found some different little crow, like little cutesy drawings, and a lot of crow art in general, they're perched on like a skull, you know, very classic style. Because this is a Christmas ornament, I'm gonna do, well, you can't really see anything, it's just like a circle, but I'm gonna do him perched on a little snowman head. I thought that would be funny, and then I'm gonna put a red scarf on him, and I wrote out po po po, Merry Christmas. Yeah, so that's the concept that we're going with. I'm going to start painting him up. I'm hoping that I can do it justice. My little ghosty turned out good, so I'm sure I can make this work too. But yeah, let's see. This ornament, please. This ornament, please. I know it looks like a face in the background, but I need you to focus on, there you go. All right, so you can see my little sketch. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start painting it up, preferably in frame. All right, I'm gonna try not to block it too much. I have the camera on the left side, so hopefully my right hand isn't gonna block that as much as when I had it on the other side. And I'm just kind of trying to paint this in a way where my brush strokes are going to let me know where I have my shapes established, so that when I go in to add like some detailing, I'm not trying to remember like how I had anything proportioned. Alright, so now that we have the basic shape of him, I'm going to do like a gray color, I think, for his little feet and his beak. That way there's some dimension to this. Otherwise, from a distance, well, from the limited distance that we are from the tree, I just don't want it to be like one big black shape in this case. So some little gray detailing, and then I'll probably do some gray like on the wings to define them from the rest of the body too. Alright, so here is what we have so far. Not too bad. Alright, let's go ahead and paint in, oh, I forgot water. Well, I have water for me, but not for art. He's so cute. Alright, so let's give him a scarf and then do the snowman's face. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. Okay, so I'm not going to film me doing lettering on camera. I think I might actually see if I can find a brush pen to do that with. I am not the greatest at writing things. I do not have nice penmanship. It takes me a long time to make any sort of decent writing. So I have it sketched out for placement. I think I'm going to try to give it like a serif sort of font effect. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling when I go to write. But yes, oh my gosh, this turned out even better than I thought. I mean, does he look like a crow? I don't know, but you know, I think it reads at least, and especially once we get the po. I think the raveny crow, the corvid effect will take hold once you have like those sort of details in. But yeah, some of this stuff I'm going to like finish detailing off of camera, but let's go ahead and come back, I think, to the candles. I want to go ahead and get a base coat of paint down on them so you can kind of see where we're going with that. I'm not going to do a pure white. I think I want to do like a yellowy sort of, is it tallow that old-fashioned candles are made out of? But that's sort of more like off-white, goldeny, white hue. So I'm going to get, I guess, yellow paint now. And we're going to put a coat down and see how that glue, like if it really now looks like wax once it's all one color. All right, so let me get that. Okay, I've got my yellow, which I forgot that I needed to replace. Hopefully it doesn't make a big old mess on my little plastic tray here. But I also got like a little brown color to sort of mute it down. So I'm hoping I can get a nice color. So let's start mixing. I'm just gonna go right into this little white puddle here. We got a lot of ground to cover, so I want to make sure that all ends up one shade. I might have to duplicate it for like a second coat, but as long as like each layer, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. It came out so fast. We're just gonna roll with it. Then maybe I can get 2 coats out of one mixing. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put this on as a layer to really cancel out the color beneath, and then I can add white to it to make it lighter, and then I don't have to keep adding and adding and adding. Yeah, that sounds good. That's what we're gonna go with. All right, let's get the broad areas first. And then we'll get a smaller brush for detailing. Yeah, this is the one concern that I had, was where like the paper towel roll is like glued together, there being some raised spots, but I think I can hide them once we get like multiple layers on, because they won't be showing out from gathering paint, if that makes sense. This is going to be all about layering on this one. Dude, it keeps thinking the skull is a face in the background. Let me move him out of the way. Face recognition is amazing, but sometimes it's like, no, that's not a face. I don't want you to focus in on that. All right, I'm gonna get this guy covered up with like probably 2 coats, and then I'll come back so that you're not just watching me slap paint on for endless amount of time. Okay, so here they are, and I'm gonna actually show you them up close first. They are a little on the ugly side, I won't lie. I think 1 more coat of paint is what they need. This is 3 right now. I want to let it set up completely, because as like you're painting it, if it's too soft, it's going to start coming up then, especially on the wax because it's a smooth surface. So I'm going to let this set up completely and add in 1 more coat. But I think from a distance, especially when you're not like super up close with a good camera. I think it kind of reads as melted butter right now, maybe with the color, but I'm gonna tone that down further. I think the next coat is gonna be almost pure white because it is a little bit sheer. It'll let some of this warmer tone, but I think I got it really close. So a coat of white, maybe with just a touch of color to it. I will go easy on my color. I'll put the yellow someplace else so I can add it in slowly. But anyways, yeah, I think from a distance, with a little touch up on the wick just to make it pop a little more. I try not to get too much paint on it, but I think it reads pretty well. And then I'll get a different color on the base. I was just slapping some paint on there so it had something there. But yeah, once this sets up, I'm gonna finish it, so you'll see it once it's all done. I'm thinking I might try to do a gloss coat followed by a matte coat to see, because the matte coat I have isn't like a full matte, at least not with one application. So I'm wondering if the mix of the two can get that sheen that I'm looking for. I'll probably do an experimental round of painting on something else before I commit it to this guy. But that's where we're at on this one. And I think for tonight, I'm going to end the crafting fiesta because I feel like we've gotten a good amount of stuff. And I'd actually almost forgotten that I want to do the beaded like blood drop icicles. So that and the embroidered ornament are pretty much the only ones we haven't touched yet. Like I said, I'm gonna finish their cute little crow off camera with the little wording because I'm just not great at it. It's not going to be fun to watch. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish this guy off camera. If you've watched my Halloween crafting video, I mean, putting glue and glitter on, it's a pretty straightforward process. So I think we'll just see him in his full sparkling glory. You saw the important part of this one. So we've got several ornaments that are in the wrap-up phase. So the next time we come in, we'll be starting a new ornament from scratch. Hopefully I can get to, I go thrifting. There's a place that I can find a lot of accessories, a lot of jewelry for really cheap, and a lot of it's that beaded jewelry. So I'll try and get in with that promptly so that can be the next one, because I really, oh, and the bottle with the quill. So this guy will probably be next because he's a little project. The trick is gonna be getting the dang, oh, can I get it? Can I? Maybe? Ooh, okay. You want to see the satisfaction of a peel. Because this is a plastic label, not a paper. So it's not going to rip as we go. Oh yeah. I'm thinking instead of the Mop and Glow glitter method, I've done it once before. I might get some just really inexpensive nail polish and put it in there and shake it around. That's also pretty effective, though sometimes, for one, it cannot be fast dry nail polish. For another, depending on how big the vessel is, you may need more than one, so it's not always cost effective. But since I only want to do a couple ornaments with this technique, I don't really need a gigantic bottle of Mop and Glow. So I'm wondering if I can just get some really cheap nail polish. Maybe at Dollar Tree. Do they have nail polish there? I never look at the beauty stuff. We'll figure that out. But yeah, so we'll be doing like the more kind of substantial crafting involved ornaments and the little, this guy. This is not going to be too much. Like I said, I just got to get the materials for it. So yeah, I'm going to call it there for tonight, and I'm looking forward to the next session. Alright, I have survived Hell Week at work, and now I'm ready to make some more ornaments. I was hoping to like make some more the other day, but I've just been so tired. So that's okay. We are on the other side of the craziness and now I can just leisurely enjoy myself. So we are going to, I think I said we're going to do the little ink bottle ornament. Now, originally I had thought about doing it with the Mop and Glow glitter technique, but I didn't want to get a giant thing of Mop and Glow for just a couple of ornaments. Maybe if I was making them in mass, that'd be different. I probably already said this. Like I said, it's been a crazy week. I don't know. Maybe we already talked about this. I went to Walmart and I just got some really, like, the cheapest nail polish that I could find there. I think this was like $1 something. One of them was $1 something, the other was like less than $1. Just super inexpensive nail polish so that I can pour it in the vessel, hopefully swirl it around and get a good coating, and super easy. Maybe I'll even have some left over that I can paint my nails with. Says it lasts up to 10 days. Not with my job. It's like 1 if I use regular nail polish. Okay, so we have, let me turn on the camera and record. We have some glitter, because I thought maybe it'll shine through some of the nail polish if I put it in there with it. Got a little feather, which I don't need just yet. Vial nail polish, and I'm going to do some aluminum foil around the edge to try and not have it like drip around the rim as I'm pouring. Not quite a funnel situation, but just something that I can pull out after I get it all nicely swirled, hopefully. So let's see, how am I gonna go about this? I'm gonna actually zoom the camera out just a little bit so that it's easier for me to stay in frame. I probably don't need it quite that long. So let's curl it around. Boom. Just don't want it to all get stuck in the foil in the neck of it either, so let me just... Alright, hopefully it funnels down in there nicely. Use the foil to kind of secure it. There we go. Alright, let's pour some glitter in first so it doesn't all get... Well, maybe if I just take out the foil, then I can put the glitter in second and it won't stick. I can always take a Q-tip and clean around the top part where I don't want nail polish to be with some acetone. All right, now I'll zoom you in. There. Here we go. Wow, this nail polish is really strong smelling. I'm gonna pour a good amount in just to make it easier to spin it around. That should be plenty. And then I'm just gonna sit that right in the top of the bottle and it can drip whatever it's gonna drip in. Now let's add some glitter. Like I said, I'm not sure how much of it will show through, but maybe we'll get something. Ooh, this is thick. Okay. Maybe I should have waited for the glitter. There. Okay. Oh, actually, that is pretty satisfying to watch. All right, I just need it to... Might have to do a couple of rounds just to get everything coated really well. Actually, I don't know that I necessarily mind that one little drip on the edge, almost as if that's where you would like take your quill and wipe it along the edge. Maybe I'm gonna leave that there. Maybe I'm actually gonna enhance it so that it flows back to the ink. All right, so we have our little ink bottle, complete with little drip spot. It is gonna have to dry. I can see that there's excess nail polish in it. I'm not gonna try and get it out. I'm just gonna let it harden on its own. So that's gonna just kind of get set aside. I don't think the glitter is gonna do anything even if I add it. It's pretty opaque actually. So just a plain little bottle of ink. Once this is dry, I will take the feather and I'm gonna put a dot of glue in and then just kind of set it in there so that it's sticking out just like a perfect amount. And I'll have the tip glued to the edge of the bottle so that it's secure in there. That'll be the finishing touch, so you'll see the whole thing once that is done. Next ornament. What is the next ornament? Let's see, we got the ink bottle. Oh yeah, I got beads for the bloody icicle. Bloody icicle, maybe it's gonna be a blood drip. I kind of have an idea that's going through my head. So let me go and get the components for that. All right, so now that I've got all my supplies, let me show you what we've got here. This came from 2 necklaces and a bracelet that I thrifted. We are not going to, I just wanted to show you everything that came out. I got a bunch of little clear beads and some like bronzy coppery colored ones. Those will get saved for later, as will all these sort of little brown, yeah, like brown. These ones are almost like peachy colored, but these ones will also get saved for something else. I don't think I'm going to use any of these metal pieces, but I think I'm going to use some of the chain bits that came from one of the necklaces, because I think what I want to do is like make kind of like almost like a drippy sort of piece. I mean, it's not going to look like blood dripping per se, but kind of using that as the idea for how we're going to shape it. And then of course we've got all these different red beads that came out from those necklaces and bracelets. These are all from the bracelet, and then these ones came from the 2 different necklaces. I like to make sets of 3 when I do my icicles. Even if they're not identical, they're usually very similar in shape, at least, with close components as I can get. Obviously, when you thrift, sometimes you end up with just kind of random bits and pieces. But here, today, I think I have enough to make 3 largely identical. Now, usually when I make these, let me actually grab. When I make these, I usually do have that sort of classic icicle shape with it being a little tiny bit tapered at the top, wide, and then it gets to a point. For this, what I think I'm gonna do is have a mid-size component, a smaller, you know, like when something drips, you sometimes have that little tiny like driplet above it. Something like that, and then the largest piece is actually going to be on the bottom. So working off that concept, I'm just kind of lay out some beads here and see how everything kind of looks as I put it together. See if I need to maybe go dig through my other components and find more pieces to complete the look. I don't have a whole lot of red pieces left anymore because I did make some red ornaments for family members last year, but I think I have enough if I need to add to what we have here. So let me just kind of start playing. You can see this layout on the camera as I'm doing it, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, I think this is a case of keep it kind of simple, especially since we're gonna have the dangly bits in between. I'm gonna go ahead and put these together. I have some black wire here, black coated copper wire. I think that this should be just fine for what I need. And I'm going to go ahead and assemble. So here are our components. So I think that's going to make a really nice length comparable to our icicle. I just can't go crazy with the chain in between, otherwise it's going to be way too long. So I think I will wrap this up and you will see the final with it assembled with the chain pieces in the unveiling, because it is time to move on to the ornament that is going to by far take the longest, and that is our little beaded bat ornament. I'm going to start with painting the ornament itself, I think, that little wooden casing. So let me grab all the supplies for that. I'm gonna need to get needle and thread. I gotta get the red felt that I'm going to use as the backdrop, and I've got to dig out the black beads that I'm using. So I will be right back with those. Okay, so I just went ahead and painted the ornament real quick, since that's not like the interesting part of that one. So we started with this, and now it looks like this. So just a simple black with like a copper top on it. I have removed the insert because I'm going to use it as the template for my felt. That way it fits perfectly in the little back that pops out, and I don't have to worry about if I've gotten a perfectly round circle or not. So let me get this rolling. I'm just gonna take some chalk. Comes out pretty easily. Let's just get this circle traced on here real quick. And I went with felt because I'm not gonna have to worry about it fraying. I don't have to worry about finishing the edges or anything like that. All right, so now I will just trim out around that center. And yeah, I know I got a crease. I'm not that worried about it. I think once it's glued down to the backing and has a chance to relax, it'll be fine. But yeah, it was in a folded position for a very long time. And yes, these are my fabric scissors, and since this is fabric, I'm okay with using them on this. Now that we have our little round, I am going to attempt to draw a bat outline on it. That way I already have it spaced out properly in here. I am not good enough to just free stitch a bat onto here, so let me just do a little sketch real quick and then we can get to sewing. Alright, it doesn't look like much, but it is enough to at least have me be able to stitch over it. Alright, and I've just got, I don't even know what kind of thread this is. It's just like embroidery type thread, not the ones that you pull apart, but like the little fancy ones that you get. A lot of them have like sparkles or whatever. And then I'm just going to grab a needle, one that has a slightly bigger eye so I can thread it easily. And then most importantly, I have the black beads. I'm gonna make sure that my needle fits through them before I bother to thread it. Yep, that should be just fine. All right, we now have thread, we have a circle with our outline, and we have beads. So all that's left now is to start filling it in. So let's get on that, because that's gonna take a minute. so there is the outline. I'm gonna need to do a little tweaking on the head by just kind of like pushing the beads or adding beads as I stitch more in. It is going to take me 9 million years in post to have this in there, so I'm going to finish this on my own, and once this is all filled in with beads, all I'm going to do is take the back side of this and I'm going to glue that on, and then it'll just go right inside the ornament, and that'll be the final product. So you'll see that in the reveal, and with this being the last ornament, that means that's what's up next, the reveal and the trimming of the tree. So let's see how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really had fun making these ornaments. It's very much a tradition to make at least a few every year, and this batch I think is particularly special. You can see that there was also some of the geeky additions put up here, and so between the spooky and the geeky, I think the tree represents us even more than it ever has before. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you to relax in peace, and I'll see you in the next one.